My God, I hate drugs.
Congressman Alejano's clear inciting to war, or at least encouragement of the conduct of war against the Chinese, using the West Philippine Sea as his flashpoint, is a classic case in point. Kung napin ko yon, hindi ko sinasadya kasi nga napindot ko. Kainis. I can't do it. Naiirita ako. So please stop making pansin little things like that because it's so distracting. So anyway, what I was saying. As I was saying, ayun, hanapin ko na lang dito. Little things like that because it's so distracting. Okay. I'm looking at your comments. So, the reason for this discussion is to understand the historical roots of these suspicions so that we understand them, and the more we understand them, and the more that we understand also our tendency to be biased towards any other identifiable group, whether it is a regional group or an ethno-linguistic group, understand the historical basis for those biases so that these biases or these kinds of mindsets cannot be used against us by politicians whose best interests aren't ours. Okay. Yun. Unpin. Yun. There you go. So, sabi ni Junaida, sana matulungan natin lahat ng Pilipino para asenso ng bansa natin. Agree. Bibingo na yan si Congressman Alejano, sabi ni Miguel Francisco, nung weekend ba siya? Totoo. Sabi ni Lee Cooper Fulkerson, tama naman din na may bansag ang isang grupo, lalo na kung di na magandang ginagawa sa bayan, para maging aware lalo yung mga taong nananatili sa maling pagkakakilala sa isang tao o grupo. Hindi, tama naman din siya. Pero di ibig sabihin na di natin sila kinikilalang Pilipino. Tama. Agree. That's a variation on what I said earlier. So, I guess this discussion wasn't just limited solely to our discussion of the biases that are being played against the Filipino-Chinese or Filipinos of Chinese descent. But it also helps us to recognize our own regional biases. Like the almost unthinking use of the term Imperial Manila. Kasi yung mga taga Maynila, kakunti naman talaga yung tubong Maynila eh. Like I said, Imperial Manila is already a construct because it is really people by people who don't even identify with Manila, who actually come from the provinces and in fact go home during holidays and during when they have to vote, so that the actual Manileños are very, very few. And to say that there is still an Imperial Manila really is simply a recognition of the geographical location of the seat of power. Yes, it is located in Manila, but to extend the mindset as saying that yung mga taga Maynila ay ganito is to ignore the fact that the reason we call it Imperial Manila is because the seat of power and the decisions are being made here. And because the decisions are being made here, sometimes those decisions weren't very smart or didn't even take into consideration the reality that is on the ground in areas that are not Manila. And yes, that is wrong. But it is wrong because of the presumption that the decision is made here, but not necessarily by people from here. See that the decision makers, we have congressmen and senators from all over the country, and to say that the decision is Imperial Manila would be to ignore the fact that we have representatives who just happen to be making those decisions in the seat of power, which is located in Manila. Diba? When President Duterte was first elected, the first thing I said was, Davao has now become the center of the universe. Diba? Why? Because everything now is in Davao. Suddenly, everything is happening in Davao. Would I be justified in saying that it is now Imperial Davao? Diba? Because decisions are being made by people who are from Davao. The seat of government, the executive power is exercised by so many people who are coming from Davao. People who are appointed mostly have links to Davao. And some of them are in fact appointed primarily because they are from Davao. Can I now start saying Imperial Davao? Diba? So, recognize biases for what they are and look at them for if they're intrinsically irrational. If they're irrational, then it's easy to use that to manipulate us. Sabi ni Don, I agree na marami talagang regional biases feel ng mga taga Manila superior sila. Kaya agree ako na dapat i-improve at i-invest outside Manila. Nag-relocate ako from Manila to Clark, kaya dapat i-push natin ng federalism. Proud to be karambolista. Okay, but that's not exactly what I was saying. What I was saying is that as much as you claim that Manila has biases, by saying that we have biases without examining that kind of bias is also a bias in itself. Yeah. So, ano yan, Delia? Yeah. PRRD should hear this lecture. Of course, he's going to hear this lecture. He's going to hear it from me. I gave him a lecture on the importance of history when I visited him in Malacanang. You think that you can tease me like that? So, I know that it's very difficult to hear that the term Imperial Manila is actually a biased term. But it is time for us to examine our regional biases. Sabi ni Crom de la Rosa, we're proud to be hospitable and market that to foreigners, but if we are close to our fellow Filipinos, then what kind of hospitality is that? I don't think naman we're close to fellow Filipinos. But I think that it is time for us to start examining biases so that they are not used to manipulate us. Diba? Our tendency towards regionalism, our clannishness is a reason also that we have very little national identity. We want the economic benefits of a strong nation, but at the same time, we are unable to identify with a strong nation because our identities are limited to our regionalism, and a lot of the times it is because we're unable to move past the biases. So that was the whole purpose of the discussion here, is just to examine how we think. There is a historical basis for our politicians using the Chinese and othering them and warmongering, diba? And raising the flag of nationalism and saying, we have to be against the Chinese, we have to declare war against the Chinese. Ay, naapi tayo ng mga inchik. But we also have to examine other biases. But in doing so, we are now forced to examine our own other biases. But that's okay. I'm not saying that it's completely bad, but that's one of the reasons why we can't identify with ourselves as a country, is because masyado tayong nag-identify with the region. If we can get rid of words like Promdi and Imperial Manila, I would be very, very happy. Kasi ako personally, because my father was in the Air Force, was in the military, was assigned to so many places, and because I traveled a lot as a child, then I don't see any place as better or worse than any other place, except siguro I think that the quality of light in Ilocos is outstanding, but I think that the landscapes of Mindanao are, nakakaiyak sa ganda, and I see so much beauty and so much talent and so much good all over the country that it would be silly to claim that any region or any particular locality has a monopoly on anything. I think that this country is just so diverse and full of potential. And I think Filipinos, because I'm inherently biased as a Filipino, are the best. And I've been to many parts of the world. And that it is time for us to examine ourselves. Yun lang. It's, no need to fight about this, no need to, but a need to recognize so that our politicians don't use us and don't manipulate us. Yan, sabi ni Miguel Francisco, and I like this, and let's end it on this note. Sabi ni Miguel Francisco, a clear example of walang bias or regionalism pag may laban si Pacquiao. Everyone is united and we are all watching. Oh, yun ang gusto ko. Yun ang di ba for that moment, pag lumalaban si Pacquiao, wala nang crime rate eh. Di ba? Because we're all on his side. We're all on, well, for the most part. There are times na hindi eh. But, yun nga, I agree with that. If we could extend that feeling of being one altogether, then maybe we can get somewhere. We can get to, but as it is, hirap na hirap tayo to paddle in a single direction. Kasi syempre, merong mga tao na they try to hold us back. I don't want to to dwell on the people who hold us back, but more on their intentions. If the intentions naman are for the purpose of, of justice, or for the purpose of being, of just making sure that we do it the right way, then okay lang. 'Di ba? Okay lang, we recognize that also. So, again, maraming salamat. Yung hindi pa po nagpa-follow sa Luminous, please click like and follow. Yung hindi pa po nagsasubscribe sa mga live natin, please don't forget to subscribe. At the end of this video, there's a button that says subscribe, and you can click that. And if you haven't shared, please go ahead, do so and share. We're also on YouTube, Trixie Cruz Angeles. I would like to thank everybody because all your contributions are amazing, and they ground me. They help me realize that, in a lot of ways, I still have a lot of studying to do, and a lot of things to learn. And I'm so glad that I am learning from you. Thank you very much. Again, mabuhay ang Pilipinas. The time for self-examination, the study of our history, and the study of our culture is now. We have a president who is versed in our history, is able to create a vision from it, from his study of history. We, as the citizens of this republic, can do no less. Thank you very much. We'll do this again sometime this week, I hope. In the meantime, have a good day. It's rainy outside. Please be careful.